Hey guys, so for today's video I'm doing a dance Q&A. It's been kind of a while since I've done one of these. I've done a few general Q&As since my last dance Q&A, but I haven't done an actual dance themed Q&A since July of 2018, so I figured it was time to do an updated version for you guys. So I asked you guys for questions on Instagram and Twitter, and I only ended up getting questions from Instagram. So I've made some notes on kind of how I want to answer these questions, and I have those notes in front of me. And as well as that, I have my dance top on, ready to film this. So let's get into answering the questions, shall we? Okay, so the first question is, when did you start dancing and what style was it? So I started dancing originally when I was 8 years old, and I started out with ballet, jazz and tap every Saturday, and I did that until I was about 9, and then I actually didn't dance for quite a while, but then I started again at the age of 17 with contemporary. I apologise for the lighting, the sun is kind of like in an awkward place at the moment, shall we say, and it's like shining directly at me pretty much right through the window, so I do apologise for the lighting. But the next question is, what is the earliest dance that you can still remember? Honestly, I can't remember any choreographed pieces in full, although the earliest memory I have of a dance in general would probably be from when I was about 8, and it was an exam dance, I think, and I can't remember if it was, I want to say it was Little Bo Peep, but I can't remember if it was Little Bo Peep or Mary Had a Little Lamb. But I know it was something like that. I'm pretty sure it was Little Bo Peep. And I remember it was a duet with me and this other girl in my dance classes at that time. And yeah, I can't remember any of the steps as such, but that is probably one of the earliest kind of dance memories I have. As for when I started dancing again and I started contemporary, again, I can't remember a dance in full, but I do remember really loving a piece we did to Take Me to Church by Hosier, and I seem to remember an Adele piece as well. I can't remember what song it was to, but yeah, so I can't actually remember any in full, but I can kind of remember probably certain steps from some of them, maybe not the earliest one. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favourite dance style? Now, as I've mentioned in the last 2 questions, I have done ballet, jazz, tap and contemporary throughout dance. And even though jazz and tap were when I was 8, I can still kind of remember things from classes and like across the floor kind of things we would do and stuff like that. But I would definitely say contemporary is my favourite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love ballet and I love how like strict and precise it is, because I feel like that just makes it more rewarding when you get a step right, because it's so precise with ballet. But there's just something about contemporary and how kind of like flowy and I guess somewhat free it is, and the fact that you can kind of just interpret certain moves in your own way and kind of make it your own. But yeah, so I'd say contemporary is definitely my favourite, although I do love ballet. But recently I've been missing contemporary quite a bit and I have been considering starting that again. So yeah, I would say contemporary is my favourite. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if this next question was meant as a dance question or not, but I'm going to answer it as if it was. So the next question is, do you go to college? I don't go to college. I did a workshop at college for dance a while ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was probably a good couple of years ago. And I was told at that time I was not ready to be obviously part of the course, and I just basically wasn't at the right level at that time. So no, I'm not in college. But if you would like to know more about kind of my experience with the college workshop and that kind of thing, I have a video up titled My Dance Journey So Far, which basically goes through from when I started dancing as a kid up until when I filmed that video. And I go into more detail about the workshop in college in that video. So if you want to check that out, I will link it up here and in the description. That just kind of gives more details on it and kind of how it went without me going into too much detail in this video. So yeah, I hope that answered that well enough without going into like all of the details about the workshop. The next question is, what is your favourite song to dance to? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I don't know that I have like a firm favourite, but there have been songs that I've kind of choreographed myself and really loved. One of those would probably have to be Speechless by Naomi Scott from the Aladdin movie. I just really love the song. I feel like it's like a really powerful song, and I loved the choreography I created to that song too. I feel like another reason I picked that song out of so many is when me and Tamana actually went to see the Aladdin movie, I was kind of in a phase where I just wasn't feeling like dancing at that time, and I just, whenever I would create something, I didn't really enjoy it, and I wasn't happy with the way my choreography was turning out at that time. And I remember we went to see the movie, and as soon as I heard that song, I wanted to choreograph it. And when I then started choreographing that song, I was really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, so that song was the song that kind of inspired me with my own choreography again, I feel like. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it kind of re-inspired me and was the first piece in a while that I felt really happy with in my own choreography. But yeah, I don't think I have like a firm favourite song to dance to, but that's one of the ones that kind of comes to mind. So I hope that answers that question well enough. The next question is, do you tap? I don't tap. As I said before, I did tap from the age of 8 till about 9. And I feel like I do miss tap quite a bit. And it is a style I would really like to start again in the future. But as of right now, I do not tap. Okay, moving on to the final question, and that is, what would you say is your best quality as a dancer? Now, I saved this question for last because it was one of my favourite questions. I mean, all of the questions I got were good questions, but this one just really got me thinking more than other questions that I was asked. But I would say I'm pretty determined when it comes to dance, and I'm pretty hardworking too. Like, I constantly practice stuff at home. I'm always working on improving something. And I would also say I'm pretty motivated when it comes to dance, and I'm super passionate about it too. I'd also like to think that I'm pretty ambitious, and I feel like it's a good quality to have, that I know what I want and kind of where I want to be. Like, for example, job-wise, I know that eventually I want to be teaching dance and kind of passing on my passion for dance. And I know the best place to start with that is probably assisting a teacher. So yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't name just one, but I'd say my biggest and best quality is the fact that I'm so motivated and passionate about it, because I feel like as a dancer you have to have that passion to be able to work hard and to be able to get where you want to be. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't really name just one. And yeah, so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below. Now, I was going to say let me know in the comments what your favourite question or answer was, but recently on my last few uploads my comments have been turned off, and I have contacted YouTube about this and they are working on getting an update to kind of let me know what's going on. So at the moment I more than likely don't have comments on this video, but in the meantime, if you want to talk about anything dance related that I mentioned in this video, or if you have any more dance related questions that you maybe didn't get a chance to ask in this video or whatever, then feel free to DM me. I would quite happily talk about dance literally all day, every day if I could. I love dance so much. So you can DM me if you have any more dance questions, or if you want to chat about anything dance related that I mentioned throughout this video. But yeah, I'm hoping to get my comments back soon. But anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for more videos. Bye guys!